Hey everyone, this is Rocky Moore, and I'm here to introduce the response argument. And my topic is about raising boys into becoming great men. And it's also in agreement with the two articles that I had previously spoke about, the one from Fox News and the other one about the TED Talks, and how they both kind of talk about the same things that I was thinking of when we saw that video of Hannah Storm talking about Ray Rice. Um, and that's why I think this matters nowadays, because it's something that we see in the media when they talk about men, like I just said about Ray Rice and the assault charges, and then the whole thing with Adrian Peterson and his son and the way he conducted business with, disciplining his child. And I think it's important to note that we need to actually get to the bottom of, or maybe the root of why some of these things happen. And I think that's because we are forgetting how to raise our boys into becoming the men that we want them to be, or that we expect them to be. And this doesn't mean that there are not boys out there that are raised correctly. And what I mean by that is that they know how to treat women the right way. They know how to use the anger that they have sometimes in the right ways, instead of obviously these assault charges. Like, we don't want the anger to be used in that kind of sense. And I think that starts with how we raise them. I showed the Mulan video because I think everyone can relate to that. As a kid, I remember watching it and seeing that video. I don't think it's necessarily like today, because we do have women that are in combat, unlike Mulan, who's trying to be a man in that sense. But the point of the video is to show how Disney, in the case, like, they are reaching out to a young boy and telling him that this is how a man should be, no matter what the circumstance. Even though this is a family-friendly video, and like we all know Disney makes videos for families and like that such, there's no really a gray area for a boy to watch the video and think like, I can be something other than fierce, aggressive. And just like in the song, they're called daughters if they're not perceived in that kind of sense. So enough about that. I wanted to elaborate more on, things that are going wrong, or my opinions on why boys are not being taught how to become a man. There's obviously many problems to this. It's not just one direct result of something, or it's not just one reason why a boy would grow up without the right influence in their lives. So it starts with the guidance that a young boy needs at a young age. They need good habits to develop at a younger age so that it becomes something that they can look back to when they're older. They need good instruction. Sometimes there isn't someone in the home or someone in their lives that they can look up to for these good things, and that actually ends up hurting them when they're older, and I think that's something we need to fix. And even the Fox News article that I'm using in this response argument kind of elaborates on that a little bit. It also talked about how boys are growing up without their fathers. Obviously, again, that's not the case for everyone, but I even know a lot of kids that have grown up without their fathers, and you can tell that maturity thing is that a boy grows up and starts to develop over time is kind of lacking with a boy who is fatherless, basically. There's also a lot of distractions that boys can turn to with just the click of a finger. I mean, they can get online and, there's ads that pop up. There are plenty of porn sites that a young boy can easily have access to. Also, video games is another easy form of distraction, something that can end up making them not cohesive or collaborative with people outside in a social context, and I think that definitely doesn't help. Also, films and TV, and I know Hollywood does a good job of this, they glorify male characters and people like that come off as grown-ups that still act like kids, and they kind of condone that. But if we really want boys to become men, we don't want them to look to something like that to be their guidance. We want them to understand it's okay to have fun, but like when you are a man, you have responsibilities and there are things you need to do. And I think they need to know that. So all in all, this isn't a video saying that there's a right answer for how we can do this, and there isn't a direct way to do this, but this is for parents who are looking for something to like bring to their attention about what they can do better if they even notice that this may become a problem later. This is also for future parents, people in my generation that may not even think about this, but we should probably not condone our kids for losing their virginity at 13, especially our sons. Like, we chastise girls for doing it, but on the other hand, we high-five our boys when they do that, and I think that we can do a better job of that when we're older as parents. I also think that this can be for a kid, a young boy or a young teenage boy who doesn't have anything to look to. They can possibly watch a video like this or learn more about how to actually become a man. And I'm not saying how to do it. I'm not telling them what to do it. I'm just saying that, you know, it's okay to look to someone for that kind of help to make sure that they're put in the right direction on what to do correctly and what not. Anyways, thank you guys, and I hope that this has been informative.